welcome everyone to the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group for Wednesday, July 15th, 2020. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name is Rick Cremond. I'll be the host today, as in the last many days of the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group over the last 6 or 7 years, each week on these Wednesday mornings, Central European time, which is Tuesday night in Pacific time where I am. And yes, we discuss topics of the Keshe variety of the plasma technology that's been revealed and taught over the last primarily the last decade or so, and especially in the last 5 years or so of intense work by the Keshe Foundation, and especially by Mr. Keshe, who is always there to create new teams and create new groups and to be available to them and to all the public teachings and private teachings and so on. It's a vast amount of knowledge over many, literally thousands of hours of workshops. And here we are. So see if I usually ask if anyone has anything they'd like to present, and I see that Lee Coates is not here, who is the one we usually call on, who happened to be around in the last few years. That was the missing name, Mark.
Yeah, and it just came to me in the last 5 seconds. I was calling him Dan Coates. It's Lee. Yeah.
Yeah. And Lee always had some new device that he was working on, or some new creation. That was, some of them were quite spectacular. Usually with some kind of rotating, whirling apparatus of some sort, which always gets our attention. I've had lots of whirling things, spinning things in this workshop in the past. It used to be one of my specialties, and still is at times. So go ahead, Mark.
When you first made the announcement, Rick, I thought you said I've been your host now for many, many moons. But you didn't say. Now, I heard Mr. Keshe, well, I didn't hear Mr. Keshe on Brazil. No, what is it? Radio Brazil TV? Or
yes, right.
He had an interview there where he spoke to the nation, or through that channel. Was it Radio TV Brazil?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get that post up here.
Because I didn't actually hear Mr. Keshe, but I did hear Raphael, and the TV or the radio station said they'd be very welcome to come back.
Yes, there's actually an audio recording of that as well. I'm just trying to figure out which of these Telegram groups I saw that in. Does anybody else have a link to that, or the I don't know if it's, I think it's recorded and available on the website of that radio station. The whole website is in Portuguese, so it's a little hard to figure out what's going on there. But there was someone who clipped out the part with Mr. Keshe speaking and had it as an audio file. I'm just trying to figure out where that was. Could be, maybe. Just only put in at 1 or 2 of the Telegram groups and just going through and trying to find which one here. Of course, there's hundreds of messages have gone through since then. Quite literally.
And the 4 majors, there's been no response on the report, the dossier coming out of Iran, besides President Trump's.
I haven't heard anything new about that yet. No.
What are the other ones going to use for an excuse?
Yeah. I've got the link to the radio and TV Brazil. I don't know if that'll help or not, but we'll put that in as that's the place where it was originally came from. So we'll put that link in the various live streams here. I'll start with that. And if I could figure out which Telegram group it was, we could extract the audio file. Let me see if I can get it in here. Let's see.
There's one in Keshe World Foundation, whatever it's called, the World Group. I just saw.
The Keshe One World Family?
Yeah, exactly.
That's where I'm looking now, so maybe I'll just scroll down.
It's there from Audio de Lima. There's an interview with Keshe that I listened to yesterday. I put the link there in the chat.
Oh. Let me see how that works.
Maybe I can share it with Zoom directly to send to Zoom.
I see. I see the audio file. Okay. I should be able to just download that, I think. I got to go in the files section. Just bear with me a minute. Is it 50 megabytes? I think it's that one.
That's the one.
You can hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. How long is that? Do you remember? It's about half an hour or so, I think, maybe. I forget now.
I think it's 50 minutes, actually.
50 minutes, yeah. It's a bit long to play, but well, people can go to that link and get into that Telegram group and listen to that audio file through your link there, actually. That seems to go to where the file actually is. That's pretty cool. So let me post that.
I think Mr. Keshe only speaks for 10 or 15 minutes.
That's right. He didn't speak very long.
Oh.
Then after that, they just have a discussion in Portuguese, I guess. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's just when he talks for 10 minutes, but I think it's translated as well. It takes a while.
It is translated as well, yeah.
Yeah. We'll post the link here for people. Yeah, I wonder if I can play part of it. It's hard. I don't know if I can just. You can't download the actual file from Telegram, I don't think. Seems to lock in the file so you can't actually do anything with it other than link to it. Okay, let's see if I share differently. And share computer sound. Let's see if you can hear this.
Lá do Rio de Janeiro fala o nosso amigo Rafael Teixeira. Ele é representante da Fundação.
Can you hear that okay?
Yes, and I almost understood some of it.
Okay.
It's me go.
Perhaps we can play through some of it and kind of get the gist of it, the mood of it at least. I can't remember.
Just to let you know, Rick, Gianni's come in and he has been sharing quite a bit lately.
Okay, very good. Yeah. Okay, I'm not sure if I can skip through this audio. It seems like I can only play it just the way it is. I don't have much control over it in this in Telegram. But let's give it a go here.
São Keshe no Brasil. E vamos dar aqui o nosso bom dia ao Rafael. Bom dia, Rafael.
Oi, bom dia, Sandra. Bom dia a todos os ouvintes. Tudo bem com vocês?
Muito bem, melhor agora falando contigo. E nós, há poucos dias, tivemos uma conversa, né? E falamos um pouquinho sobre a Fundação Keshe. E eu achei por bem a gente repetir essa entrevista, porque também as pessoas precisam saber desta, vou dizer novidade, né? Porque não é muito difundida na mídia, né? E por isso que eu falei para você, para a gente repetir essa entrevista. Então eu gostaria que você falasse um pouquinho, Rafael, da fundação que você representa, que é a Fundação Keshe. O que é que significa a Fundação Keshe?
Lembrando só que um resumo é que a Fundação Keshe, o que eu posso dizer, vem trazendo o maior presente para a humanidade, e essa nova ciência, né? E a nova ciência que é o conhecimento do universo, que é isso que a Fundação Keshe traz hoje. E como eu disse, todo esse conhecimento, ele está sendo passado gratuitamente para a humanidade hoje, para todo mundo, via YouTube, pelo canal da Fundação Keshe no YouTube. E nesse canal da Fundação Keshe você tem aulas semanais, tá? Toda quinta-feira você tem aulas, inclusive elas têm tradução simultânea em português. Se você não conseguir ouvir ao vivo essas aulas, você pode ouvir a gravação delas que ficam no canal da Fundação no YouTube. E é uma coisa realmente fantástica o conhecimento que está sendo passado, assim, uma coisa que vai muito, como eu costumo dizer, vai muito além da nossa imaginação esse conhecimento que está sendo passado nesse momento, e é impressionante o que está sendo passado ali. Então qualquer coisa que eu falar aqui nessa entrevista vai ser muito limitado em comparação ao que vocês vão encontrar nessas aulas no site da Fundação Keshe, no canal da Fundação Keshe no YouTube também. Então é o que eu sempre convido as pessoas, e a Fundação Keshe está sempre estimulando isso, a todos buscarem o conhecimento. Por isso que a gente chama os estudantes da Fundação Keshe como buscadores de conhecimento. Então, a Fundação Keshe hoje ela apresenta tecnologia para a humanidade e está distribuindo, está compartilhando com todos, sem discriminação nenhuma. Sem discriminação de raça, cor, religião, status econômico ou posição. Então, e uma coisa importante de colocar é que a Fundação Keshe ela já vem trabalhando com organizações governamentais e não governamentais há muito tempo agora, né, e está envolvido em muitas coisas, já em muitos projetos que já foram feitos, né, inclusive, por exemplo, a descontaminação por radiação em Fukushima, após o acidente nuclear no Japão, o surto de ebola em Serra Leoa, o alívio de desastres naturais, de terremotos na Itália, o surto da gripe suína africana na China e muitos outros que a Fundação Keshe, a tecnologia do plasma está envolvida. Então, além disso, tem testes agrícolas também em grande escala, já vem sendo realizados na China há mais de 2 anos agora, e mostrando que a tecnologia pode aumentar drasticamente a produção da colheita sem o uso de fertilizantes ou pesticidas, né? Então, a tecnologia do plasma também foi utilizada em outras áreas, como na captura pelo Irã do mais avançado drone americano durante a administração do presidente Obama na época, e na desativação total do navio de guerra americano no Mar Negro, quando aviões russos sobrevoaram e 27 oficiais americanos renunciaram seus cargos após este evento. Durante as demonstrações, nenhum dano foi causado a ninguém. Isso é importante a gente colocar, tudo feito de forma pacífica. Porque é o que a gente fala, a Fundação Keshe traz a tecnologia do plasma hoje, oferece para a humanidade, oferece para as nações em troca da paz. Então, continuando um pouco na área de saúde, como eu disse, é uma tecnologia espacial, mas acabou que teve um desenvolvimento fantástico em outras áreas também do nosso dia a dia, né? Como saúde, agricultura, energia. Então, na área de saúde, por exemplo, para mostrar alguma das coisas que a tecnologia do plasma já faz, né? Você tem hoje, por exemplo, um caso de um senhor, todos esses testemunhos que eu vou citar aqui, vou citar só apenas alguns, né? Mas todos os depoimentos que vocês vão ouvir aqui, vocês podem achar no site da Fundação Keshe em detalhes, né? Teve de um senhor que estava com Alzheimer e Parkinson e que já estava, desculpa interromper vocês, mas que eu tenho uma mensagem aqui, só desculpa interromper um segundo, eu vou ter que parar um segundo aqui, já volto.
Rafael, já está disponível?
Estou de volta. Desculpa por isso, Sandra, desculpa todo mundo. É que teve uma mensagem aqui que eu recebi, que a gente teve que parar, mas eu já posso voltar agora. O que o Sr. Keshe pede em troca é isso, é a troca da paz, que é o que ele fala, é oferecer essa nova ciência em troca da paz. Então a única coisa que pede de volta é largar todas as armas de guerra, quando oferecido por nação, por exemplo. Então você tem um exemplo de uma nação que por exemplo, o Sr. Keshe já esteve envolvido em várias coisas com relação à parte de paz no planeta já. Por exemplo, na antiga União Soviética tinha uma indústria de guerra que foi transformada em instrumentos pacíficos, por exemplo, até fazendo pianos com metais que estavam lá, que faziam armas antes. Então, o Sr. Keshe está envolvido com isso. Então, a única coisa que a tecnologia do plasma, que a Fundação Keshe pede em retorno, é a paz. Então, largar todas as armas de guerra. E é isso que a Fundação Keshe oferece hoje também com relação ao coronavírus, porque hoje a Fundação Keshe tem a solução para erradicar o coronavírus, para fazer a prevenção do coronavírus, para fazer a limpeza do ambiente. E a única coisa que a gente pede para as nações de volta é a paz, é largar qualquer arma de guerra e trabalhar como um planeta e uma nação como um todo. Então, hoje essa documentação, a gente tem todos os artigos científicos já sobre essa limpeza que já foi feita numa cidade no Irã chamada Mahalat, que tem mais de 50 mil habitantes. Ela foi em 2 semanas limpa completamente do coronavírus e agora há mais de 2 meses não tem mais nenhum caso. Em um hospital lá você tinha de 1 a 2 mortes por dia de coronavírus e hoje já não tem mais nada na cidade toda. Então o que a gente oferece hoje, tem todo esse estudo pelas principais universidades do Irã, com isso já foi oferecido ao presidente americano, já foi oferecido ao primeiro-ministro da Áustria e a gente ainda está aguardando o retorno deles. E só para dar um adendo, Sandra, eu acabei de receber uma mensagem aqui do Sr. Keshe, ele gostaria de participar da entrevista, se possível. Se vocês conseguirem fazer pelo Zoom novamente.
São 11h47 aqui em Alagoinha, Pernambuco. Você ouve Rádio e TV Brasil. Estamos em entrevista com o Rafael Teixeira e no momento estamos também agora com o fundador, diretamente falando com o Sr. Keshe, ele que é o fundador da Fundação Keshe. Ele já está aqui conosco. Eu gostaria de dar o nosso bom dia, que é Sandra Santos falando com você. Bom dia.
So, Mr. Keshe, saying good morning for you. I would like you to introduce yourself, please.
Yes, good morning to you. Thank you very much for your time. How do I introduce myself? My name is Keshe.
Então, eu gostaria de dar bom dia para vocês, bom dia a todos, e meu nome é Sr. Keshe, e eu gostaria que ele falasse um pouco da fundação, Sandra.
Pode prosseguir.
Hi, Mr. Keshe. I'd like to know more about the Keshe Foundation, about your work, please.
Keshe Foundation is a Dutch organization and is set up for promotion of new space technology. and all what the new space technology brings.
Então, a Fundação Keshe é uma organização que está atrelada à parte de desenvolvimento de tecnologia espacial e todos os desenvolvimentos nessa área na parte espacial.
The technology is the new system without burning fuel, using the way the stars and Earth and every other planetary system or a cell of the body of the man works and moves.
Então é usando uma nova maneira sem queimar combustível e usando da mesma forma que as estrelas e todo o corpo se movem no universo.
So for the first time we have learned how the celestial systems work, and we followed the rules and we have achieved the same. We can make flights without fuel, we can make body to repair the same as the cell of the body of the man, and the same whatever the universe does we can copy now.
Então hoje nós podemos recriar exatamente como as estrelas funcionam e fazer isso também no nosso corpo. A gente pode se mover e fazer viagens espaciais dessa forma, como o movimento das estrelas, e também regenerar o sistema, como na área de saúde, fazendo da mesma forma, reposicionando. Então você tem todo esse trabalho através desse reposicionamento de campos.
As I always say, we followed the birds, we made the aircraft. Now we follow the way everything in the universe moves, and we achieve the same.
Então nós, como eu sempre falo, nós iniciamos imitando os pássaros, voando com as aeronaves, e agora nós fazemos o trabalho do universo, como ele realmente funciona, e como tudo é a mesma coisa, então podemos recriar isso.
So we can make systems which work like a body of the man, and cells which operate like a cell of the man, and we can fly like stars and planet Earth without burning any fuel, by creating magnetic fields to create position and motion.
Então nós podemos criar podemos criar espaçonaves para poder voar e para poder se transitar como se fosse o movimento das estrelas. Da mesma forma que as estrelas se movimentam, a gente faz isso. E no corpo do homem também fazer a mesma coisa para poder reabilitar. Então nós entendemos o funcionamento do universo, como ele funciona para poder fazer essas viagens.
And we made this knowledge so simple that everyone can do, from a housewife to scientists in laboratories.
Então nós fizemos esse conhecimento tão simples que qualquer um pode fazer, desde donas de casa até os principais cientistas.
That's why, for example, with Corona, in Iran and in China, housewives are making the system to save their lives and their children and their family. So simple, and it works. We have saved tens of thousands of people in Iran. And this is why the number of deaths in Iran is so low. For the first time, international community knows why, because of the Keshe Foundation technology.
Então é por isso que hoje no Irã, por exemplo, donas de casa estão fazendo essa tecnologia, estão produzindo essa tecnologia e estão salvando suas vidas, salvando a vida dos seus filhos, suas famílias. E hoje no Irã nós já milhares de vidas já foram salvas usando essa tecnologia. E hoje é por isso que nós conseguimos fazer esse processo e a forma simples como é passada é assim. E hoje pode muitas vidas serem salvas dessa forma.
The data from Iran is low because of use of this technology by all the people through the Keshe Foundation setting up networks where hundreds of thousands of people have used it up to now when they get infected and they save their own lives. And we have open networks, groups that they deliver the material to people at home, they teach them how to do it, and then they teach the others and the families. We have saved tens of thousands of lives in Iran.
Então hoje o que acontece no Irã a gente abriu chat para poder as pessoas conversarem, e hoje todo mundo conhece basicamente a Fundação Keshe no Irã, e eles sabem como fazer o copo da vida. Então nesses links que tem nesse chat, um ensina ao outro como fazer o copo, eles podem fazer a doação também do gancho, e dessa forma, doando o copo da vida, você já tem milhares de vidas salvas hoje no Irã por conta disso.
we were so successful that the government accepted the Keshe Foundation technology to be used in conjunction with the leading university, National Defense University of Iran, to publish the paper and to start deploying the technology right across Iran.
Então nós tivemos tanto sucesso com essa parte da população fazendo isso que o governo começou a aceitar a tecnologia e já desenvolveu, e com isso começou a ter estudos mais aprofundados na Universidade de Defesa Nacional do Irã, e a gente já tem esses documentos e artigos científicos feitos já prontos hoje.
And now everything has been done according to WHO standard, and in the next few days will be ratified by leading hospitals and universities in Iran, medical hospitals.
E nós já temos isso já tudo no padrão da Organização Mundial de Saúde, que em breve vai ser liberado para poder mandar isso para todos os hospitais, para todas as nações.
It costs less than $10 to save a life from corona.
Custa menos de $10 para salvar uma vida de corona.
And if you're at home, it costs you less than $1 to save yourself from corona.
Se você está em casa, pode custar menos de $1 para você se salvar do corona.
And the technology has been used by Chinese to clean up the Wuhan city, and that's why the president of China went to Wuhan city, because he was cleaned up by this technology.
Então, a tecnologia do plasma foi usada para limpar a cidade de Wuhan, e é por isso que o presidente da China estava na cidade de Wuhan, porque foi toda limpa por essa tecnologia.
Anyone can do it in the kitchen.
Qualquer um pode fazer até na sua cozinha.
Any other question?
Alguma pergunta?
Rafael, eu gostaria de fazer uma pergunta. Por que o nome Um Copo, Uma Vida?
She would like to have a question. Why the name One Cup, One Life?
Because it takes one cup to save one life.
Porque só precisa de um copo para salvar uma vida.
Eu gostaria de saber, porque assim, é uma coisa simples de ser feita, e por que a mídia não está sendo difundido esse conhecimento, assim, a mídia não está difundindo isso de uma forma geral.
So she'd like to know, since this is a simple thing to do, why the media is not announcing this to the public?
The reason the media doesn't answer is because the King of Belgium wanted to steal the technology. He killed my assistant. He put many people in problems that they wanted to steal the technology. They take it or nobody gets it. And they banned everywhere Keshe Foundation from media. But Keshe Foundation has millions of supporters around the world. The whole problem is the King of Belgium and his pedophile history, killing children and stealing technology.
Então a principal
It's
razão
in European Court of Justice. This is in European Court of Justice. It's not something what we say. The government of Belgium for killing my assistant and trying to kill me is now in European, court. And it has to be answered by the king, the ex-king, and the present king. And we have the pictures of king coming to me making threats. That's why we are not there. They cleaned up the Wikipedia, they cleaned up everywhere if the king of Belgium doesn't get it.
Então isso tudo não vai na mídia hoje por conta simplesmente do rei da Bélgica hoje. Que esse rei da Bélgica, ele ele quer roubar a tecnologia e ele não quer colocar isso a público. Enquanto ele tá fazendo muitas coisas no plano de fundo, inclusive ele matou meu assistente já. E simplesmente por conta do rei da Bélgica isso não vai à frente. É uma pessoa que já tem muitas questões com a parte de pedofilia também, muita conexão com isso. E é por esse motivo especificamente que não está sendo expandido da forma que tem que ser a tecnologia, mas a fundação ela já tem milhões de apoiadores no mundo todo, para poder fazer isso não pode ser parado agora. Mas a única razão simplesmente é por conta desse rei da Bélgica que está fazendo essa imagem da fundação e do trabalho da fundação, porque ele quer roubar a tecnologia.
The reason you don't hear about Keshe Foundation in media is King of Belgium and his behavior to kill scientists or they steal their technology. And they have put ban on Keshe Foundation with fake lies in the court, and Human Court of Justice now has forced Belgium to come to what we call accept criminality.
Então, o que aconteceu, a única razão por não estarmos na mídia é por conta do rei da Bélgica, que coloca isso como uma notícia falsa, como fake news em todo lugar, e agora ele vai ter que começar a responder isso em corte judicial para o mundo todo.
Bill Gates wanted to buy the technology from Keshe Foundation 10, 15 years ago. We refused. Then the King of Belgium came. We have pictures of him with the Queen making threats, pictures taken with me, that we give him the technology or I leave the country or they kill me. And they've tried all of it.
Então nós temos o Bill Gates, ele quis comprar tecnologia 10, 15 anos atrás, e por conta de todas essas ameaças também do rei da Bélgica, como eu tenho fotos para provar isso, quando ele estava querendo me ameaçar, porque ele tem esse hábito de matar cientistas, ele também quis tentar fazer isso comigo. Eu tenho isso para provar hoje, mas não aconteceu.
Iran and China don't listen to the dictatorship of Belgium and the pedophile king.
O Irã e a China não ouvem ao ditador desse rei da Bélgica e esse rei pedófilo.
He has 50 cases of child abuse in France and he's taken immunity, raping and killing children.
Ele tem 50 casos de pedofilia, de abuso de criança na França, e para ele responder que ele está imune a isso por algum motivo.
We have opened this in the European Court of Justice. It's not a secret anymore.
E nós já abrimos isso na Corte Europeia agora e não é mais um segredo.
That's the reason you don't hear it.
Essa é a razão por você não ouvir isso na mídia, essa tecnologia.
But people around the world and governments, major governments, are using the technology.
Mas pessoas no mundo todo e um dos principais governos estão usando a tecnologia.
And we have received millions of dollars as grants to develop the technology in different countries.
E nós recebemos milhões de dólares para poder desenvolver a tecnologia em diferentes países hoje.
We have increased harvest in China by 2 to 3 times. We have eradicated the pig flu in China with the technology tested by the government. And at the moment, all the success you see with all the corona in China is.
Então nós triplicamos a colheita já na agricultura na China, numa terra na China. Nós já lidamos com a gripe suína africana na China também, e toda a questão do avanço do coronavírus que você está vendo com a tecnologia hoje também.
Rafael, tá, prossiga.
Sim, pode falar, Sandro.
Ele ia falando aí, o seu Keshe, né?
Can she have another question, Mr. K?
Yes.
Pode falar.
Por favor, pode fazer outra pergunta, Sandro, por favor.
Olha, essa tecnologia, um copo, uma vida, é algo muito simples. Como foi que ele chegou a essa conclusão, né, de fazer algo tão simples assim que pode salvar uma vida?
So my question is that this cup of life is such a simple thing, but how you came to this conclusion to make such a simple thing to save a life?
This is a new plasma technology. This is the new science. We're teaching it for 7 years around the world.
Então isso é uma nova tecnologia, uma nova ciência, a tecnologia do plasma. Nós estamos ensinando isso já há 7 anos no mundo todo.
It's nano plus plasma technology, which Keshe Foundation is an expert in.
É nano e tecnologia do plasma que pode fazer interagir com qualquer coisa.
If you go into all the universities past 10, 15 years research in nanotechnology, most of it comes from Keshe Foundation technology.
Se você for para as principais universidades que fazem estudos na nanotecnologia, você vai perceber que a maioria tem relação e tem conexão com a Fundação Keshe, tecnologia da Fundação Keshe.
The new plasma technology, nanotechnology, originally 15 years to 18 years ago, was introduced by Keshe Foundation.
Então, originalmente, a tecnologia nano foi introduzida ao mundo há 10 a 15 anos atrás pela Fundação Keshe.
Till 2012, around the world, everywhere you could read about technology Keshe Foundation. Since 2012, when the King of Belgium came to make a threat to steal the technology, they've taken it off everywhere. But the technology has been there and is still growing more and more.
Então, até 2012, você poderia ouvir sobre a tecnologia em vários locais. Só que depois dessa questão com o rei da Bélgica, você começou a ter esse bloqueio, mas você continua ainda mesmo assim ouvindo mais e mais sobre a tecnologia.
If you want, I can show you the picture of the King of Belgium and the Queen of Belgium making threats. You can see it. How the kings and rulers and all the technology.
Se você quiser, eu posso até mostrar fotos aqui do rei da Bélgica e da rainha da Bélgica me ameaçando, e vocês vão ver como esses líderes ameaçam e agem.
Eu gostaria de perguntar.
It's simple. In China, a 5-year-old child makes it. Sorry.
É muito simples, até uma criança de 6 anos podem fazer uma tecnologia, podem fazer isso.
Ok? Eu gostaria de perguntar para quem está em casa e gostaria de ter acesso ao conhecimento do copo Uma Vida, o que é que precisa fazer?
So I'd like to know, for the people who are listening to this interview, who wants to know more about the cup of life, how they can go into this and to learn more about this, about the cup of life, how to make.
Cup of life is very easy. You find yourself 2 pieces of wire, copper wire, and 1 piece of zinc. You heat up one of the wires to just before melting on a fire, and you let it cool, it goes black. That creates a magnetic field like the universe. You put the 3 in the cup, you put salt water like the sea, and you connect the wires together, and that produces what we know as a Gans, which is a copy of the structure of the body of the man. And you drink the water from it once you wash the salt off, or you apply it directly on the body. In hospitals in Iran now, it's used for saving lives in less than 3 hours.
Então, na verdade, o processo é muito simples. Você precisa de um copo, você precisa só de 3 metais, 2 fios de cobre e uma placa de zinco. Você vai colocar no fogo uma dessas placas de zinco, ela vai ficar escura. Você deixa ela esfriar, coloca numa solução com água com sal. Então, o segredo está nessa placa, está nesse fio de cobre que está dando revestido, que você recria o campo magnético do universo. E aí você vai começar a produzir gãs, que é no fundo do copo, que você recria o sistema do corpo do ser humano. E você, através disso, dessa água, você vai poder se banhar, você vai poder beber. A gente já faz isso no Irã e é assim que milhares de vidas estão sendo salvas hoje.
You can go on the YouTube, Keshe Foundation, the Spaceship Institute, and it's shown there very easy. Or you go on the Telegram, Keshe Farsi Krona team or Krona group. There are 15 videos that how Iranians are doing it themselves. Every detail, how to do it, how to drink it, how to apply it, and use it to cure, you can use it to detect, you can use it to prevent, and you can use it to clean the environment.
Então você tem isso tudo, todas as informações você pode achar no canal da Fundação Keshe no YouTube, com vídeos explicativos sobre como fazer o copo da vida. Você pode também pelos links no Telegram da Fundação Keshe, inclusive no grupo Keshe Farsi Corona Team, que é o grupo iraniano, que lá você tem vídeos explicativos falando passo a passo de como fazer o copo da vida, e assim qualquer um vai poder fazer.
Keshe Corona Team in Farsi, in 4 groups there are over 100,000 people now. At any time up to 10,000 people use it.
Então, nesses grupos do Farsi, do time Corona, da Fundação Keshe, você tem grupos com mais de 30 mil pessoas agora. Alguns até são separados com mais de 10 mil agora.
Cabinet ministers, member of the parliament, head of military forces, they all had corona and they saved their lives with it. It's all recorded.
Então, vários oficiais hoje, militares, usaram essa tecnologia do Farm e tiveram suas vidas salvas. Hoje está tudo reportado já, e tudo com vídeos. A gente gravou tudo.
Or you can go on the Keshe Foundation Brazil.
Ou você pode ir no Fundação Keshe Brasil também.
Or on Telegram with the Keshe Brazil Corona group.
No grupo Keshe Brasil Corona, você vai achar isso também, no Telegram.
There are over 30 Corona groups in different languages around the world at the moment operating.
Mais de 30 grupos Corona hoje da Fundação, no mundo todo, agindo e operando nesse momento.
And last week, 2 weeks ago, tomorrow, the report how to stop the corona to kill people, a scientific report which is to be published in next few days, was given to the American ambassador in Austria for the American nation to help its citizens. But President Trump is not interested in saving his nation because he's got animosity with Iran. In Iran, we're saving 95% success rate, done, confirmed by the government.
Então nós já temos esses artigos todos, artigos científicos. Nós já entregamos isso para o embaixador americano na Áustria, ele entregou já para a Casa Branca. E o presidente Trump, ele não quer fazer isso por conta de interesses próprios, ele não quer salvar sua nação. Por conta disso, ele está por conta de interesses que ele não quer fazer negócios com ninguém do Irã. Então você tem esse problema agora acontecendo, isso com a nação americana, que já está na mão dele isso tudo.
President Trump, his fake animosity and loyalty to Israel is letting thousands of Americans die. But they have the solution for past 2 weeks. It's in the hand of it's in the White House, the report. The European community through Prime Minister of Austria has received it. They responded this week to it. The Russian leader has received it through their ambassadors, and the Chinese officially confirming the technology has been received.
Então, por conta da falsa animosidade que o Sr. Trump tem com relação a Israel e ao Irã, ele não aceita essa tecnologia, e com isso milhares de americanos estão morrendo hoje por conta disso, sendo que nós temos isso com mais de 95% de sucesso no Irã com a tecnologia, e o Sr. Trump não faz isso. Então ele está, por conta disso, ele não está deixando essa tecnologia, que a solução está nas mãos deles há 2 semanas agora, e isso também já foi distribuído para outros governos, como o da China também, e todos eles sabem disso e têm isso em mãos hoje.
It costs $1 at home, less than $1, to save a life from corona. And we are doing thousands of it a day in hospitals and by people in Iran.
Então custa menos de $1 para salvar uma vida com essa tecnologia, e nós estamos fazendo isso aos milhares no Irã e em hospitais também, salvando vida.
And Keshe Foundation has shipped the full system to a hospital in São Paulo. They're waiting to start the procedure. Anyone goes to this hospital, their lives can be saved using this technology. The machinery arrived 10 days ago, and it's hospital waiting to start.
Sorry, Mr. It's Santa Catarina, not São Paulo.
Yeah, Santa Catarina, yeah.
Então,
translate.
Então a gente tem já materiais que foram enviados para o hospital em Santa Catarina já, que já estão para poder trabalhar com a tecnologia nesse hospital, e já foi enviado para eles todo esse material, né?
Rafael, algo mais que ele...
Would you like to say something more, Mr. Keshe?
Yes, with the knowledge we have, and which is in Brazil, and with a large number of Keshe Foundation supporters in Brazil, I don't see why a single Brazilian should die of corona. As we start saving lives in Iran, Brazil, which we are loyal to, has to be the same. It's just that your government or the stations, radio stations, and the rest have to start teaching freely the way we gave it as a gift free to humanity. And not a single Brazilian should die of corona with the knowledge which is now in the hand of your government.
Então hoje, na verdade, tem uma coisa a falar, que com esse conhecimento que nós temos, nenhum brasileiro deveria morrer hoje de corona. Então o que nós devemos fazer hoje está, e com os milhares de apoiadores que nós temos no Brasil todo fazendo esse trabalho, compartilhando conhecimento, e é o trabalho da mídia hoje a fazer isso, é compartilhar livremente como a gente compartilha esse conhecimento e colocar na mão dos governos, como já está, conhecimento dos governos, para poder aceitar essa tecnologia também. Mas hoje no Brasil nenhum brasileiro deveria morrer de corona com esse conhecimento, tendo esse conhecimento em mãos.
Rafael,
It takes 5 minutes and less than $1 to save a life.
Isso demora menos de 5 minutos e menos de $10 para salvar uma vida.
Rafael, eu gostaria de saber, eu sei que é muito importante essa tecnologia para a situação que nós vivemos hoje do corona, mas além dessa tecnologia do copo, existe outras coisas que a Fundação Keshe está trazendo?
So should I know, I know that the cup of life is very important for this moment now, but I would like to know more about other areas that Keshe Foundation is working beside the cup of life and corona.
We have shown in China over 3 years of operation that we have doubled and tripled the harvest, the rice, the wheat.
Nós mostramos na China, numa operação de 2 anos agora, que nós triplicamos a colheita de arroz nessa região.
We have used the technology in production of energy.
Nós usamos a tecnologia para a produção de energia.
We produce materials, which means you do not need to dig the grounds anymore. The mining time is over because we can produce material the way it's done in the
Nós conseguimos
universe.
produzir materiais, então o período de mineração, de você cavar para conseguir material, acabou, porque nós podemos produzir esse material como é feito no universo como um todo.
We have managed to reverse cancer, Parkinson. People in Parkinson with 10 years, 3 years in a wheelchair, within weeks they walk.
Então nós conseguimos reverter câncer, Parkinson, Alzheimer, um senhor que estava há 4 anos numa cadeira de rodas com Parkinson e Alzheimer, a gente reverteu e ele consegue andar hoje.
It's all documented and it's all on the internet, you can find it.
Está tudo muito bem documentado, está tudo na internet, você pode achar isso.
And the most important thing is that with the new space technology which we announced will start in Iran in the next few weeks. For example, from Brazil to Tehran, it'll be less than a few minutes, not the way it is today.
E uma coisa bem interessante para compartilhar, muito importante, é com o desenvolvimento de tecnologia espacial que está sendo feito no Irã. Nós já apresentamos isso. Você, para viajar do Brasil até o Teherã, até o Irã, você vai demorar em alguns minutos, não dias, para poder fazer essa viagem com essa tecnologia.
Is used in defense. And you have seen it in the capture of the drones by the Iranians of the American drone.
É usado na parte de defesa também. A gente conseguiu ver isso na captura do drone americano lá pela Defesa Nacional Iraniana.
This is how Iranian managed to bring all the American base down a few months ago, 3-4 months ago in Iraq. The technology is so complete, Americans cannot match. It's beyond their imagination.
É assim que nós conseguimos, foi usada a tecnologia também para poder resolver essa questão que estava acontecendo no Iraque com relação aos americanos. Essa tecnologia é tão avançada que os americanos não conseguem acompanhar para poder proteger a nação.
It's by cleaning up the environment. We helped in Fukushima. We help in cleaning waters. We help in decontaminating atmosphere.
Então nós temos também a limpeza na descontaminação de Fukushima. Nós limpamos as águas, limpamos a atmosfera como um todo. Oi, Sandra, você está
Oi.
falando alguma coisa?
Não, eu tava resolvendo aqui um probleminha, mas pode prosseguir, viu?
Okay.
São perguntas chegando aqui.
I have some questions coming there, and they are checking now. But if you want to proceed, Mr. Keshe, you can.
No problem. This technology can clean waters, decontaminate all the air. We already sell these systems. This is not something to be. We sell decontamination and cleaning of atmosphere in our shops in the Keshe Foundation.
Então nós temos essa tecnologia, pode ser usada esse conhecimento para poder limpar a atmosfera, limpar rios, e nós temos mostrado isso na Fundação Keshe. Temos apresentado isso, é muito simples.
The new enhancement unit, you can go in it and most of the diseases can be reversed within days.
Na nova unidade de aprimoramento, você pode entrar nela e a maioria das doenças pode ser revertidas em alguns dias.
This unit is coming, a number of them is coming to Brazil soon.
E essas unidades, várias dessas unidades estão indo para o Brasil bem em breve.
Rafael?
Sim.
Desculpa aqui a pausa que eu dei, é que tava chegando perguntas aqui, né? Então eu tava dando uma checada aqui nas perguntas. Então, a pergunta que chegou aqui é: quantos copos são necessários para uma pessoa se curar do corona?
So she liked one question that came to the radio station now. It's about how many cups a person needs to get healed from corona.
In the scientific report, which is released to the government, there are 23 different, now 25 different type of coronas.
No artigo que foi liberado pelos oficiais no Irã e autoridades iranianas, nós temos mais de 25 tipos diferentes de corona.
One corona, if it's long, creates temperature and fever.
Um corona, se é no pulmão, você vai ter febre, tem sintomas de febre.
Most of other coronas don't create any fever or any temperature.
A maioria dos outros coronas não criam, você não vai ter nenhuma febre, nenhum tipo de febre.
So we have two cups. One cup is for the wide part of the body, like the lung, the brain and nervous system. And we have a second cup, which is for muscles and tissues and bones. So we need two cups.
Então nós temos um copo que é para a parte de tecidos brancos, né, que é para os pulmões e para a parte cerebral. E nós temos o segundo copo que é para a parte de tecido muscular vermelho. Então nós temos hoje dois copos.
For lung and head, we use cup number 1.
Para os pulmões e para a cabeça usamos o copo número 1.
And from the chest downwards, for all the muscles and tissues and arms, we use cup number 2.
E para os tecidos vermelhos, para os braços e para os outros tecidos, nós usamos o copo número 2.
And for special cases, we mix number 1 and 2, or we use percentage of the actual gans in the system.
E para casos bem específicos, nós misturamos a água do copo, o copo 1 com o copo 2, ou colocamos o próprio gancho também.
Rafael, eu gostaria de saber se é específica para o corona ou pode ser aplicada em outros tipos de doenças.
So she'd like to know if this is specific for corona or this can be used to other diseases too, the cup of lung.
a cup of life can be used for other things, but it needs to be known how to use it. But the cup of life 1 and 2, it can be used for a lot, like diabetic, like blood pressure, like some cancers. But it has to be done by doctors who know the technology.
Os copos, o copo da vida, ambos os copos eles podem fazer muita coisa para várias doenças, né? Mas você tem que saber como usar eles. Então você
Rafael,
tem hoje copo 1, copo 2 sendo utilizado, você tem reversão de diabetes, de câncer, de outros tipos de doenças, mas tem que ser usado somente por médicos que conhecem a tecnologia.
são 12 horas e 28 minutos. Retornamos aqui com o Rafael Teixeira. Infelizmente, nós não vamos poder prosseguir a entrevista com o Sr. Keshe. Ele teve que participar agora de uma reunião. Rafael, me ouve?
Sim, estou ouvindo bem.
Bem, eu gostaria de dar minha palavra de gratidão ao Sr. Keshe, que se você puder transmitir meus agradecimentos ao Sr. Keshe pela participação aqui na entrevista e pelas informações que ele passou para a gente. Qual é a sua experiência na Fundação Keshe? Como foi que você conheceu essa fundação? De início, qual foi o seu primeiro contato com essa fundação?
Eu tive contato, o primeiro contato que eu tive foi agora 5 anos atrás, se eu não me engano, 5 anos, através de um amigo que apresentou que já estudava tecnologia, porque como a gente falou, há 7 anos isso é divulgado a todos já de forma livre, via aulas pelo YouTube. Ele me apresentou a tecnologia, eu comecei a assistir, me encantei realmente pela tecnologia, eu realmente senti no meu coração aquilo ali fazia muito sentido, e começou a conectar muitas coisas que estavam assim, faltando, que estavam tendo lacunas ainda, no pouco que eu tinha entendimento sobre na minha área de estudo. E aí eu comecei a querer me aprofundar cada vez mais nesse estudo. Calhou que eu realmente me tornei representante da Fundação Keshe aqui no Brasil no final do ano passado, que o Sr. Keshe me convidou. Foi quando eu conheci o Sr. Keshe numa conferência que ele veio fazer aqui no Brasil em novembro do ano passado. Nessa eu como voluntário, eu fui lá fazer a tradução dessa conferência. Eu já tinha fazia traduções aqui por conta própria. E aí eu fui chamado para poder fazer essa tradução lá para a conferência. E aí como eu fiquei muito em contato com o Sr. Keshe, a gente trabalhando junto, ele me chamou para poder ser o representante. Então, desde novembro do ano passado, que eu realmente estou com a fundação de forma mais efetiva e realmente fazendo esse trabalho junto à fundação e me aprofundando também mais no estudo, né? Porque até então eu estava sempre estudando, mas não com tanta profundidade como eu estou agora.
Qual é o teu conselho para o pessoal que está ouvindo a gente, está em casa e não sabe nada ainda da Fundação Keshe, só apenas o que a gente está falando agora, e que quer conhecer mais profundamente essa fundação? Qual é o caminho que essa pessoa deve percorrer?
O que a gente sempre fala, qualquer pessoa que queira saber sobre a Fundação Keshe, aí sempre os canais oficiais da Fundação Keshe, né? Porque isso é uma coisa também importante para deixar claro. Como é um conhecimento passado livre, a gente tem muita gente falando sobre a tecnologia do plasma, sobre a Fundação, sobre o trabalho da Fundação e sempre distorcido ou misturando coisas que não é da tecnologia. Então a gente pede para as pessoas sempre direcionarem para o canal oficial da Fundação Keshe, para o website, que é o keshefoundation.org. Então você KES de sapo, HE Foundation, de fundação tudo junto.org. Esse é o site principal oficial da fundação, para poder ver as aulas do Sr. Keshe, inclusive as aulas com tradução simultânea em português. Então todas as aulas, você tem um canal da Fundação Keshe no YouTube, que eu te passei o link aqui, Sandra, se você quiser compartilhar no WhatsApp com o pessoal o link do canal da Fundação no YouTube. Então vocês têm esses 2 links para vocês aprenderem. E
Okay, I believe that's it in English for that interview. Might continue a little longer, I guess, in Portuguese. And again, just so people know, that was a radio, what's it called again? Radio and TV Brazil interview with Raphael doing the translation for Mr. Keshe. And yeah, it was good to get that, good to hear that coverage. Many thanks to Raphael for setting that up and getting things organized there. Other people can might know somebody that's in the radio and TV business. Mr. Keshe is usually quite accommodating to do interviews. So think about that, maybe get one lined up. Okay, any other questions or comments about that? We've got the links in the YouTube and live stream to that interview, so people can go back to that if they wish to promote the links and to promote the interview. Okay, let's carry on then. Does anyone have something they would like to present for today's workshop? I heard that Johnny might have something.
Hi, Rick. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Johnny.
Today I present live the oasis GG. Okay?
Okay, yes.
Dean, I can help with translation. Dan balish.
Okay, I am here. Yes.
Thank you. Trebuie să pornesc camera. Un moment.
Need a camera. There. And that.
A trecut o lună de la ultima prezentare din oază de aici.
It's passing 1 month from last presentation.
Acum să pornesc camera în un moment. Se vede? Se vede, da?
Yes.
Acum o lună arătam plântuțele de aici, tomatele și conopida.
1 month ago, I showed the cauliflower and
Tomato.
tomatoes.
Și micuțe erau de câțiva centimetri.
Last time it's some few centimeters.
Și se poate vedea acum la ce dimensiune a ajuns. Conopida este peste dimensiunea care crește în România.
You can see how much is grow, and cauliflower it's up to the size of what is growing in the Romania.
Și aici tomatele deja au și flori.
The tomatoes have already flowers.
Se pot vedea. Și intrăm iarăși în oază.
Now we coming again in the oasis.
Unde deja vegetația este cât mine, adică 1,70 m.
Where the vegetation is already 1 meter and 68. It's the height of Johnny. 8 of Johnny.
Urzica deja a ajuns la 2 metri, asta din față.
The ortics, how to say this in with it's you have a prorit. I don't know how to say in English, but I say searching. This you have a pain from this
Da,
plant.
de asta și să vede în spatele meu la... Eu am 1,7 m.
Stinging nettle, maybe?
Yes, yes. Thank you. It's almost 2 meters. 2 meters. Some.
Da. Aici lavanda, care deja este o splendoare și asta are 1,5 m înălțime.
The lavanda have 1 meter, 1 meter or half meter. Jumătate de metru sau un metru?
1,5 m.
1 meter and half.
A rămas la fel cum am arătat-o data trecută, mă refer că nu am atins nimic, nu am tăiat, nu am scos nimic.
Sorry, I have a little bit of noise background, but can you repeat? Poți să repeți un pic ultima frază?
A rămas la fel cum am spus și data trecută, nu am tăiat nimic, au rămas toate la dimensiunea lor, cum s-au poziționat.
How I say last time, I don't cut anything, I don't wrap anything. It's remains in same scissor of last time, which means don't put the hand or agricultural tools.
Ce vedeți aici este floare de ceapă.
This is the flower of onion.
Care aici se vede cât, la ce dimensiune a ajuns, tija cât este de groasă.
And now you can see how it's bigger, not root, the corp of plants.
O lăsăm până ce face toate semințele, după care scoatem și poate fi și consumată.
We rest still when it's make all the seeds and it's possible consume after and continue.
Întotdeauna lăsăm să ajungă la maturitate, să facă semințele, copiluții lor, adică. Și semințele...
Always we leave the plant for growing, for maturity, for making seeds. It's like a baby child. It's growing.
Semințele le dăruim la întâlnirile din țară, cu dăruiri de
We offer the seeds in this meeting in the country where it's regulate giving seeds with souls.
Yes. Aici și menta și roinița, majoritatea plantelor medicinale au depășit 1,5 m.
Major part of the medicinal plants it's growing below to 1 meter and half.
Aici este usturoiul, care și el are peste 1,5 m și începe să facă sămânța.
This is the onion, no onion, ali.
Nu.
Garlic? Garlic, I think.
Garlic. Yes.
Garlic, yes, garlic. Se poate vedea că merg până jos, așa să se vadă cât este. Cred că se vede, da?
I walk in the ground for seeing the seeds.
Planta asta de lângă este o plantă medicinală care se numește coada calului.
This is the plant medicinal in our area. It's called horse tail.
Deja cum mă mișc, eliberează toată o aromă magnifică.
When I move, I feel all the odors, the smell in the air from these plants.
Deci aici lavanda s-a poziționat și merge excelent între mentă în dreapta și roinița în stânga.
The lavanda, it's done well between the mint and the other is called roinița. I search how it's called in English. it's also the medicinal plants.
Da, unele dintre ele e și ce se numește menta lemon.
The lemon mint.
Așa, și merg să ajung la ce arătam data trecută cu gardul.
And now I'm working for sea, for making your sea better. Where is the confine of the property between me and the neighborhood?
E plin iarăși e plin de albine, de insecte, e o abundență de
It's full of beans, the insects.
Aici e macrișus, deja ajunge la înflorire, adică a înflorit.
Here I have the trevor.
Ok. Aici e ce prezentam data trecută, ce am pus lângă gard.
Here is what I last time present. I putting closer to the, how to say,
Topinamburul și floarea soarelui.
Topinambur and flower of sun.
Și deja se vede cât a ajuns. Cum spuneam,
Flower, sorry.
Da.
Flower of sun.
Cum spuneam, nu ne mai văd vecinii deja. Deci a depășit înălțimea mea.
Already our neighborhood, it's impossible to see it because it's growing very much and very fast.
Aici dovlecei, avem de toate repartizate peste tot.
We have anything repartizate, the putting everywhere.
Aici, iarăși, o plantă care în mod normal, asta crește undeva la 70-80 de centimetri și deja aici are 2 metri.
I have this plant, anason. It's growing normally almost 1 meter. It's 70. Yes, 70. But here I have it's 2 meter height, 8.
Alt usturoi, care
The garlic.
Și aici frunza de păpădie, care nu am văzut niciodată la dimensiunea asta.
And never see in my life the seeds of this plant is growing very, very big. I searched what you can see.
A ajuns deja, are vreo 70 de centimetri și se poate vedea cum este. E incredibil.
It's unbelievable how the seeds is.
It's amazing.
You can notice the difference of normal seeds and the seeds of these plants.
Aici am ajuns la alte flori, încă mai lucrăm cu răsaduri, cu așa care le mai dăruim.
We working with the seeds, the plant, and everything else, mature and from the seeds and the mature plants.
Aici este o altă zonă de experiment unde am pus acum răsaduri.
With when you putting in the ground.
Deci aici plantele doar au fost tăiate la nivelul solului ca să putem să punem răsadurile.
I leave a little bit of space in the level of ground where it's put in the seeds for making I search the word how he said from when he put in the plant in the ground.
În mod normal, în perioada asta anului nu se mai plantează prea multe lucruri, dar noi vrem să arătăm că cu ajutorul tehnologiei se poate planta, pentru că nu mai depindem de anotimpuri.
With the help of technology, we don't have the problem of season. You are independent from the rate of season.
Aici aș vrea să arăt ce s-a întâmplat la vecin pe zona unde a fost o porțiune au stropit-o contra gândacilor.
Here in the neighborhood part, it's spraying with
Insecticid.
insecticide for the bugs. And what's happened? What is
Și
going on?
plantele pur și simplu s-au ars.
And the plant is not
Unde se vede zona unde nu au stropit. Deci aici au făcut numai un test să vadă și le-am spus că nu trebuie să facă, că nu mai e necesar și într-adevăr nu sunt gândaci.
in neighborhood making the one test for seeing where it's spray and where it's not for see the difference. I said it's not need to make the experience because I tell you it's growing and it's not I think it's okay.
Aici tot așa, tocmai și-am pus niște răsarduri, tot așa experimentale. Și aici doar am tăiat de la nivelul pământului, am tăiat plantele care erau, cerând permisiune, clar.
I cutting off the level of ground. Shortly, I asked the permission of plant for cutting, for making a little bit of space.
Aici este o altă plantă medicinală care tot așa în mod normal crește undeva la 70-80 de centimetri. Se numește coada șurichelului în limba română.
This is a tail of mouse. It's called. This plant growing not.
Și asta este la înălțimea mea aici.
And this is for my 8. Yes. 1 meter and almost 2 meters.
Aici în solar ardei pe lângă alte plante, alte răsaduri, flori. Ai auzit, Dan? Dan?
Gianni, scurt, prezintă scurt pentru că la muncă și nu reușesc că am foarte mult zgomot.
Ok. Deci aici în solar plante, ardei și alte plante împreună.
The plants in the greenhouse.
Aici cupele ocupă o viață.
Sorry, give me a minute.
Ok.
Thank you, Johnny. Lovely tour as we go here.
Okay. Thank you, Rick. Thank you all.
I think Dan will be back in a minute here. We wait.
Okay.
You have more to show? You have more, Johnny?
No. For today, it's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's just lovely seeing your work there. Puts me to shame. On my deck, I've got a few pots of plants and they struggle along, and some of them do okay, but nowhere near the lushness and density of Gianni's establishment there.
Did he say he asked the plant for a cutting?
I didn't catch that, quite possibly. Gianni, did you hear that question?
Repeat the question, please.
Did Gianni ask a plant if he had permission to take a cutting?
Yes. This is what Gianni said. Asking
Întotdeauna
permission of plants. Always ask the permission.
Și pentru a pune și pentru a lua.
For putting and for taking.
Și ceea ce facem, dăruim plantelor, participând la crearea mediului cu ajutorul plasmei. Și clar și din suflet.
I apologize. Repeat again.
Deci, în momentul când cerem, dăruim din sufletul nostru.
When I asking, I give it from our soul.
Și participăm la crearea mediului utilizând plasma.
And participate for creation of environment, giving with plasma.
Thank you for the question.
Okay, any more questions for Gianni? Okay, does anyone else have something they'd like to present today or bring up for discussion? Perhaps a question? I do have one question from Andrew. He wanted to know if anyone has experimented or created reactors that can hydrate a human body only from the fields without actually consuming water, like the food reactors. He says, can you please ask this question in the group? And I thought, well, as Gianni was showing his garden, he mentioned that last time that he doesn't water his plants, or at least some of them in this situation that would normally have water. So I'm thinking he's created the environment such that the plants water themselves, or water is created for the plants, and however way that happens, you could explain it in many ways, I suppose. But could not a similar situation that could hydrate the human body? For example, if you went and I don't know, lay down in that field of medicinal plants that he had there, that we saw in the video, would that not hydrate a human body, perhaps? Works for plants, should work for humans too. We would absorb that ambient moisture that's just created in that environment.
Dan, poți să traduci?
Yes.
Pentru noi nu mai este necesar să creăm reactoare pentru mâncare.
It is not necessary to create reactors.
Pentru că ne alimentăm la nivel de câmpuri de aici din oaza.
Because we help it with the field of from here, from oasis.
De la plante luăm frunzulițe și fructe păstrând semințele.
From the plant we take the leaf and the flower and leave the plant entire.
Și frunzele pe care le folosim și pentru alimentarea celor 10 cățeluși și 14 pisicuțe.
The leaf where they taking, you utilize for food, for feeding also the 10 animal around us, the cat, the dog, and the other beings.
față de noi, ele încă este necesar să și mănânce.
The difference between us and this beautiful animal is still needed to eat.
Și suntem conștienți de faptul ăsta și le asigurăm ceea ce le este necesar.
We are conscious of this fact. It provide what is needed for this animal.
Clar, fără carne, pentru că noi nu consumăm.
Without meat, because we don't consume the flesh. The meat.
Și față de celelalte, mănâncă foarte puțin, nu au niciun fel de probleme de sănătate.
Without the difference between the other animals is don't have the problem with health problem.
Pentru asta, aici, în oază, nu este necesar crearea reactorului pentru mâncare, pentru alimentare.
In the oasis, it's not need to have the food supplies, like I say, because I have the field in the oasis.
Aș vrea să mai pornesc încă o dată camera, că mi-am adus aminte de un experiment.
I want to start again the camera because I remember one experiment.
Experimentul se referă la mase care le-am cumpărat.
The experiment is from what I buy.
Pentru a le readuce la genom original.
For putting the matrix original of genome.
Sunt tomatele care se văd aici, în lădiță.
It's the tomato what you see in here.
Care în mod normal se strică și în frigider.
Normally this it's like let's say it's not it's the how to say it's not working in the freeze. It's normally broken.
Aici se comportă diferit datorită faptului că câmpurile la ocupă o viață.
Here you have the behavior difference because it's you have the plasmator of one cup on life.
Și clar al mediului care l-am creat și cu ajutorul soarelui.
Certainly with the help of sun and the plasma.
Și celelalte reactoare cu gansuri.
And the other reactor with guns.
Și aici avem în solar acum o temperatură de 24 de grade.
Here in the greenhouse, right now I have the temperature of 26 degrees.
La o umiditate de 69.
Humidity of 69.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks again, Johnny. Okay, somebody else have something they'd like to bring up or present? Any other thoughts on how to hydrate a human body with fields without actually consuming water?
Hi, Rick. This is Boris. I just thought about we have in hospitals sometimes the problem, we humans, that the lungs fill with water And I remember Mr. Keshe saying that could be about 4 liters a day they have to remove out of the body. So actually, we should be possible as a human beings to produce water in our body. I'm not quite sure how we can control the quantity because, as I said, sometimes you have to go to the hospital because your lungs produce so much water that you cannot handle it on body side any longer. This is my 10 cents to the question. Thank you.
That's a good reminder. I can't remember where Mr. Keshe talked about that, but he actually, I think he explained how to remedy that, or he had some treatment for removing that water or preventing the accumulation of water. So it makes sense to reverse the process if you need more water, or take advantage somehow of that process of why the body creates excess water. I was thinking if you want more water in your body, well, just eat some salt. The salt will retain water when you drink the water, but it's not exactly the same.
My thought was also, if you eat all the wonderful plants that Johnny showed to us, you should be get a lot of very good and healthy water in your body. So possibly you don't need to drink as much any longer.
Mm-hmm. Yes, right.
I think.
Good point. Good point. Okay. Now we kind of tossed that question around a bit, so that's good. Okay, what else do we have today? Do you have anything else they would like to bring up as a topic for today?
Can I ask a question? It's about, I am, how to say, I'm trying to learn more about heat control and temperature control in the environment, and I see our body is very good in doing that. So because it's more or less independent of the environment where you are in. Your body has, let's say, 37 degrees, and most of the mammals have also this temperature. It's really like a natural constant, I think. Does anybody know of you, or did anybody of you do experiments in trying to change the temperature of your body by consciously? May I ask? Thank you.
Well, we do tend to do that naturally in terms of if I lie down in my bed and the bed's cold, if I wiggle around a bit or rub my back on the sheets, to generate friction, that generates heat and makes me feel warmer. Or if I, rub my skin, then it'll turn, red and get warm. Or if you're too hot, then we naturally move to a cooler location in the shade and so on. I noticed a cat today that did that same thing, just knew to move underneath this this area that was underneath, away from the sun. But you mean more by just using your thoughts? Is that what you had in mind? Just using your mind? Boris?
Yes, actually, this is what I'm thinking about. I'm more thinking about getting actively in this mindset of how can I say? Just an example. If I'm not able to go in the shadow when it's hot, my body starts sweating. So you know what I mean? And now I also what comes to my mind is we have cold sweat, so to say, if we are in fear, and we have this, let me say, healthy sweat from working or making sports. So I just wonder if any one of us is somehow in the process to do this, yeah, more or less by will or by changing emotions or whatever. Thank you.
Well, in a way, people do that quite regularly. Like a good example is in Canada, it can get quite cold. So if you're in an office building downtown, you might have to run across the street or even a block away or something to another office and maybe deliver a document or whatever. So even though it might be many degrees below freezing, people might run out in their shirt sleeves and they've prepared themselves mentally for that shock of the cold and know that they only have a short distance to go and so on. And it can put you into a state where the temperature doesn't matter so much. You're on a mission, you're going from point A to point B, and you barely even notice the cold, let's say. But in another circumstance where you're maybe run down or you don't have that energy and intention behind you, and maybe you're facing going out into a snowstorm with no protection or something and not knowing where you're going, that could be a different situation. You may not be able to focus your thoughts in a way that can basically keep you warm, because if your body knows what to do, it more or less takes care of it. There's people that can work in there's, for example, there's postal workers in Canada that quite often have shorts on, even though it's below freezing conditions. So they're delivering mail door to door with shorts on, and they're bare knees sticking out, and it's not a problem. It's they're quite used to it. So in a way, we do use our minds regularly to regulate our body temperatures. There are people that can exist in cold conditions that I can't exist in. I would need to have a clothes on in order to keep myself warm, but they're able to carry on and don't necessarily need the same outerwear as I might need.
I have a suggestion. There is a guy called Wim Hof. You can check him out on the internet. He can stay in cold water for an hour or something like that.
Right.
Wim Hof
done a number of demonstrations on that thing. So yeah, people have actually trained their minds to withstand ice cube cold water and being immersed in it for quite some period of time, and not go into shock and not panic and so on.
It's quite interesting, actually, if you've done that. I done that in Japan. In Japan, they have these, they call it onsen, or I forgot what the other name is. Anyway, it's like hot springs, bath houses, but they also have a cold bath, and it's really cold. And when you sit down in that cold bath, you can actually drift away, and you can get, what do you call it, hyperthemia, whatever it's called. But it's really interesting how the cold water is really works on your body and your mind, and it just like you just calmly drift away. And I actually had to catch myself one time because I was noticing that, wow, my mind is just drifting away, and it was really cold. And and you can train that with breathing techniques to be able, and that's what Wim Hof does when he teaches people how to stand calm.
Right.
That was my 5 cents.
Yeah, that drifting away.
That's interesting, yeah. I remember a story now when we are talking about of my father-in-law. He was born after World War II here in Europe, and we had very cold winters at this time. And I remember when he watched old photos of his family, you know, they had really no money, and so the children were running around with kind of really destroyed trousers, and they had no socks and no shoes. And he saw a photo where some children were playing in the snow without shoes, without stockings, and his first thought was, oh, these poor children, it's unbelievable. Till he realized it was a photo of him. So he started to remember they adapted to the winter. Absolutely. They didn't feel cold. They could stay out and play. And he remembers he had a very nice and very happy childhood already. So, yeah. So this is about adapting. I just wonder if somebody can create, let's say, fever, a high temperature to get rid of kind of virus or something like this. Do you know anyone who is doing that?
I can give you a hint at least. There is something in the yogic tradition called mudras, where you put different finger combinations together on your hands. And depending on where usually you use your thumb when you put it on the other fingers. And depending on if you put it on the top or if you put it on the root of the finger, or if you take that finger and put it on the root of the thumb, you create a decrease or an increase of that specific element in the body. So yoga mudras, you can check that out.
Can I ask a question? Because yeah, it's really interesting. I value and honor this tradition very much, and I did qigong. I already trained in qigong.
Yeah.
So, but somehow my thought was it's more about focusing and using the fingers to get focused and to somehow trigger these things your body starts to do. Then how do you see this?
I mean, it's not so complicated. I mean, for example, very common when people sit and meditate, they put the thumb and the pointing finger together. What do you call pointing finger? Index finger? Is it called index finger? No. Yeah, the ones after the thumb, pointing finger. We call it pointing finger. Anyway, and they sit like that on both hands, and they kind of create a circle. And so the fire is, I mean, the thumb represents the element of fire, and the pointing finger represents the element of wind. So, and when you put the tops of the finger on top of it against each other, you supposed to balance the fire with that specific element. In this case, it's the wind element, and it calms your thought process down a bit, for example. So that's one very common way. And then there are others, like if I just take the very basic ones. If you have a lot of, as we talked about before, a lot of water in your body, for example, then you can put the finger, but you shouldn't do this for so long, but you can put your thumb on the root of your little finger, and it will slowly decrease the water element in your body. So, but as I said, you can find this on the internet. It's very common with the yoga, this modern yoga practitioner. Maybe they don't really have the whole idea about how it works, but it's there as a complement to their yoga asanas, their positions, and their breathing techniques. Of course, you have to do some research because not all of it is maybe accurate stuff. But I find that the basics for me works very well. And for example, if I get too much mucus in my body, and I usually put these the thumb together with the ring finger, and I let them be for some time, maybe 10-15 minutes, and usually the mucus comes down. So that's something I use it for purpose for me. Thank you.
Okay, very good. I know Johnny has a number of experiences with body temperature control, and he's asking if he can share his experience. So
great.
Go ahead, Johnny.
Dan, poți să traduci? Dan Baliș? Ursula.
Yes, but of the noise.
Înainte de folosirea tehnologiei plasmatice,
Between utilize the plasma technology,
îmi controlam temperatura corporală imaginându-mi într-o zonă rece o temperatură caldă.
I control my temperature body, thinking from cold temperature place for making this difference. When I still heat, I thinking it's in the, I don't know, for example, this is my work, in the Alp with the snow.
Am făcut de 2 ori Camino de Santiago, 1000 de kilometri pe jos.
I make the Santiago road with food, with walking.
Dar acum 3 ani am trecut Pirineii, traseul fiind din Pirinei până la Oceanul Atlantic, tot nordul Spaniei.
The route is all the north of Spain. From Pyrenees to the ocean.
Am pornit, am trecut Pirineii înzăpeziți în pantaloni scurți și tricou.
In the t-shirt and how to say clothes, very thin. I pass in all the Pyrenees in the winter season.
Într-o echipă eram 12 persoane.
We have the 12 persons.
Și doar 2 eram îmbrăcați lejer posibil, fără să avem probleme cu temperatura.
Asta e ce rămâne. In the team, all 2 remain in this without have the temperature.
Ceilalți erau îmbrăcați în haine impermeabile și groase datorită temperaturii scăzute.
The others with clothes of impermeable clothes for keeping the temperature body.
O parte din cei care au mers cu noi au învățat să facă și ei acest lucru.
One part of this person with working with us learning making these things together with also maintain the temperature.
O altă experiență care poate fi confirmată și de Ursula în Oaza Provence.
The other experiment.
Ursula, ¿puedes traducir tú?
Sí, puedo. A ver, estoy con mi teléfono solamente.
Ok. En el Oasis Provence, como os han visto, tenía poca ropa con todo el frío que estaba ahí.
In the Oasis Provence, he were very less wet months. So he never got cold, and he even was bathing in the water outside. It was very cold. It was in early spring, so it was amazing. And he was also sleeping in a tent with straw on only. So it was amazing what he did, really. I learned a lot of him.
Dar en el oasis, todo el día hacía un baño con agua plasma.
Sí, es lo que estaba diciendo, que te bañabas en, bueno, el tacho de basura gigante, ¿no? Sin
Y
frío.
la carpa también es preparado con los ganses para controlar el medio dentro de la carpa.
He said also that he was sleeping in this tent. I lent to him, and he prepared this tent only with Gans plasma water to avoid cold, and he was never cold, never. Adelante.
Hecho esto, ser consciente que lo puedo hacer conmigo y donde duermo.
Being conscious with this, he can do it where he sleep and where he live.
En el invernadero también hecho un medio controlado.
And also where he grows the plants, invernadero, I don't know how you call this in English, he did the same for the plants.
Ser consciente que las plantas necesitan otra temperatura.
To be conscious that the plants need another type of temperature.
Y entonces he utilizado el plasma con la intención de crear un medio equilibrado.
And so he used the plasma with intention to create an appropriate temperature.
Ser consciente que también las plantas están participando en el propio medio.
To be conscious also that the plants are participating in their own habitat.
Y así en el invernadero no pasa la temperatura de 35 grados.
And so in this place where the plant grows, the temperature never passed over 33 degrees.
Cuando afuera son 40 a 45 grados.
When outside it's 40-45.
Y lo que he visto es mucho mejor controlar temperatura corporal.
And it's much better than to create a body temperature.
Si hago baño con agua plasma.
When he make a bath with plasma water.
Pero también la ropa está limpiada con agua plasma.
But also the clothes are washed with plasma water.
Y puedo obtener el control no importa si hay calor o hace frío.
And I can always manage the heat even if it's warm outside or cold.
Y ahora lo puedo decir que lo hago con el alma y no con la mente.
And now I can say that I do it with my soul and not with my mentality.
Y por eso doy gracias al señor Keshe y a vosotros a todos. Gracias.
And that's why I be in gratitude with Mr. Keshe and to you all. Thank you. And I can add to this, first, thank you, Gianni, because without him, the oasis Provence couldn't be created as it was, because I just started in this. I am naturopath and I never did agriculture in my life, only flowers in my houses, very beautiful garden, but here I learned really so much. And now Oasis Provence is finished. I was there 14 months only. And the best time was the first month when Gianni arrived with his staff, wife and friends, and Flavio and Nico and the little beautiful Adora, and also have been 10 Spanish there from Spain. But this was really the best moment in the oasis when we created it. And then it was very hard because my wish was that I got there 4 bedrooms, one for me, and I was waiting for other knowledge seekers to come there, but it never comes. Some of them was a German and England also, but then many wanted to rent only, but without working in the land. I have 7,200 square meters for me alone. And so it was also very expensive to rent. So now it's closed, and just before the confinement. And now I am Les Cévennes in the south of France also. But in my son buy another piece of land, 4,500 square meters, and we will do there a new oasis 7. And I'm very happy to restart on my own all this knowledge what I learned from Gianni. It has been amazing, and I know it will be very amazing in this time, because as you know, time are coming now to awake and live otherwise for all of us in any topic. I mean, agriculture, apiculture, using really washing with plasma water to treat the plants, to treat the body, to treat everything. I do everything with plasma water, and I'm very happy because it makes me feel free of needs, free of fears, and everybody can live on his own, like he lives to live, and in beauty and in love with ourselves, and in relationship with everything, with every human around us, with every tree, with every plant, with every animal, with every insect. So this is the beauty of this life. We have all inside. So thank you very much to accept this new knowledge and integrated it, and always share it with others. You can say what you want. I try to make known this knowledge, but the best part is to show what you do with this, and show how you become conscious in this world and this life, and work all together. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Ursula. It's a good testimonial. And you're taking new apprentices on your new oasis project, is that correct?
Well, as I'm now on my own, on a land, I don't pay anything for it. I'm living in a caravan, and my son is carpenter. So in 3 years, when he finish his study, he will be instructor also. It's the Compagnon de Devoir. It's a very high school, very beautiful, with good intention and in servitude. So I don't need to have anybody to come, but of course I will be very glad to show what happens there, and to share many of my ancient friends, because the time I was Universal Council Spanish, 5 years, I tried to, but I was learning, and I'm still learning. But the beautiful is that now many who seen what I achieved on my own as naturopath, because I was always applying the plasma science since it comes into my life. well, my life changed, and I think friends noticed this, and are calling me. Friends I didn't hear from them for so long time, and even my naturopath work, I practically stopped it because I was learning, and was so beautiful to learn all what I learned and apply it in any topic, to clean my house, to wash my clothes, to treat my animals and plants, and they can see now what happens. I mean, it's before their eyes. I mean, it's evident. So slowly they come back, and they are surprised what they see. So this is the beautiful. So of course I will have place to put tents on it, and we wanted to do a yurt also, but it's not allowed here in this little city. So it's in Bessèges. So well, we will do it otherwise, and my son will construct his house, total autonomy. We have water, we will have photovoltaic, I don't know how you call, but total autonomy. We don't need any tools from the system. We need to put the connection for water, but we don't need it. But we will do it. Okay, why not? Can help maybe. But we have a river just there, so a little natural beach, private, with neighbors, with beautiful neighbors. There is an Egyptian on one side, and the other I don't know, but it's beautiful. And at the moment, since the confinement, we are in a camping 7. You can see it. I can put the link. It's magic. It's a national park, the only national park in France where we can live in. But they are almost natural. They are not big cities, nothing. It's abandoned because in the first time there was carbon mines, but they are closed now in the beginning of the century, and now all people go away, and there are 350 habitats for social people who lost their lives, and many was here many years ago from the 68. In France there was the revolution, peace and love, and so they are now our age. I mean, mine, and some of your age. But people who are in consciousness of nature and natural life, and many organic food and honey, and really beautiful. Many Holland come here to have holidays in this camping because it was created by an Hollander who was here 21 years. And now it's a French couple, a beautiful, so funny, speaking many languages also. So it's real life. And I'm very happy here to create something new. And I think I will stay a long time. And I hope you will come here once, maybe with a spaceship or maybe in vacation, because this crazy thing what is coming now, maybe some months, maybe 1 or 2 years will finish. So I know we will be the last man standing, right? So I'm waiting for you with pleasure to come and see this. Thank you.
Well, that's a lovely invitation. Thank you, Ursula. May we all have a spaceship with 2 meter spacing that we can all get together in our little spaceships and be together. It's the way things used to be. You drive to the what's called the drive-in and watch a movie from your car. And actually drive-ins are becoming popular again, where people come and watch a movie or have some other entertainment from their cars. So it may be the way of the future that you'll jump into your pod and fly to Europe or fly to America or wherever you fly to on the other side of the world to meet up with a few people for lunch, let's say. It only takes 5 minutes, fly the other side of the world or less. Why not? Okay, any other comments, questions? Current projects? There's a video that came to my attention today, one of my older videos, so I'll show that just for interest. It has to do with the toroid, the toroid, the popular shape that many of us are familiar with and like to play with in our lives. And I think I've showed this before in a previous workshop, but this is got to do with the thing called the toroid toy, and it's a good example of the way the toroid works and the way the flow works in this toroidal or donut kind of shape. Okay, let me get this lined up properly. There we go. Okay, here we go. Oops. Okay, that's basically it. So the toroid is like a standard shape, you might say. It's sort of the shape of the natural function of a plasma in the universe. There's an outgoing flow and then an ingoing flow. And in a spiral condition, if you look at this from the top, it's got that spiral kind of shape to it. And the interesting part is there's an inner core and the outer core to this toroid condition. So a black hole would have this kind of shape to it, this kind of configuration. We see with black holes that the center is where all the action is, but it's got an outer shell that's sometimes even visible. So there's both an outer and inner part to this toroid. And then as we see with the ball added to it, how amazingly easy, first of all, that this ball can be put in there. It's just natural. And in fact, I've shown how you can insert several such balls into the center of this configuration. And it naturally enlarges the center section to accommodate those extra balls. And I think I put in, was it 9 or 10 ping pong balls, which are slightly smaller than this ball, into that configuration. And I was starting to think, well, is this not like the nucleus of the atom and the way the atom works and the electron kind of skin that's around the atom, but we've got the protons and neutrons in the center core of this atom at the same time. So another aspect of this is the control that you can have over this central ball just by both flexing the expanding and contracting this configuration, but more importantly is what I do here is I actually make it go out from the top and into the bottom, which would be its natural kind of function in a way. So in other words, these wires are being pulled down and from the top and then down the sides and then back into the bottom. And that's able to lift this ball almost like anti-gravity or gravity manipulation, because it doesn't even kind of make sense. You think the ball would drop down right there. And it does when I release it, but if I maintain that tension on that central structure, it's able to actually hold that ball in a higher location than it would be normally due to gravity. All right, well, maybe that'll help some space scientists somewhere out in space. For most of us, that's probably not a really big, important factor in our lives. But I think there's some nuggets of truth in this very, very simple tool. Yet I've spent hours with these toroflux type, I think that's the name for them. Toroflux is the official name. There's a number of imitations that are available at your local dollar store. And there can be endless hours of fun and actual insight as to how the actual nature of such entities could operate on a nano, beyond the nanoscale into the atomic scale and beyond, and also in the macro scale. So perhaps this is the way galaxies operate, for example. Okay, any questions, comments? Does everybody fall asleep? All right, well, let's carry on. Does anybody else have something they'd like to bring up or carry on about? Doug says, thank you all for my dose of plasmatic association. Felt the urge to drop in. Must go now for household duties. Okay, let's go back to our other screen. Okay, anything else to share, or are we done for today?
Hello, Rick. Skywalker here.
Hi.
Hi. I have a little bit inspiration, a little bit small town pictures from my spaceship. It's very exclusive.
You have pictures you want to share?
Yes.
Okay.
1 second, please. It's a quick thing. It's on the screen.
We see an image of some various objects that are interesting, yeah.
This is my inspiration with I see a little bit plasma.
So you mean you see that each of these objects represents a plasma to you in some way?
Yes.
Or is the
It's for me is a little bit inspiration from the universe. A little bit.
Yeah, I do similar things. I've got so many, especially spherical containers and things like this scattered through my house here.
I like it. It's so inspiration for me. It's so many things in there. It's beautiful, I think.
So did you make some of them or did you find them, or how did you accumulate this assortment?
I find them in my room and I created for me. And I think this is plasma fields all around. And you have here small balls with plasma. And I think when this works, it's a beautiful creation, I think. This is auch nice. Here's a fish, you see? It's small things, but have a more, it's a little bit powerful. See the ball? This is auch cool here. This is a little bit small spaceship. I don't know.
So how do you get the plasma part? We see a lot of kind of matter level stuff, metal stuff, the copper wire, the metal sphere, and so on. How do you get plasma? Where does the plasma come from that? How do you associate plasma with it?
I think all things in this room have a plasma, have another plasma. Is a little bit harder, a little bit softer, and powerful, and I think is many things what you can do for yourself when you a little bit understanding. It's I think from 1 to 2 you have a sequence, I think sequence from Fibonacci. '61 is a breakpoint. I like this one. It's so amazing, so many things in one picture. When you can this all translate it to the really thing, I think is beautiful. What you are thinking from this picture, Rick?
Well, I had my first impression was something special. I felt a special vibe from it. See, Vajra put in "wow." I think when you showed it, but I also recognize. I look at the hardware and I think about myself, and I pick up these things at the dollar store, and they follow me home, and I set them up on a shelf or put them on a display somehow similar to this. And it's in a way, it's creating sort of an altar space or a sacred space, you could say, or it's creating the space for space. It's creating something special that's not, it's like an art object. An art object takes us somewhere into a different world. And this is like a representation of a different world. I mean, just what we're looking at there now with that sphere, it was a whole different world in itself. And you could, contemplate or meditate on any of the parts of that structure or on the structure as a whole. And there's lots of detail to kind of to contemplate and to consider here.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's also a personal thing, and you have composed this. This is your art project. So not everyone's going to appreciate it as much as you do, perhaps. It's maybe some will. And that's the part of the joy, is when you can share it with somebody who does appreciate it and can relate to it.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much.
That's probably true of any of the One Cup, One Life creations that are put together, and people have taken pictures of them, I mean, everyone is completely different than the next. Some of them look similar, but there's no two that are the same for sure. And each of them have their own kind of vibe to them in a way too. So, and it's very personal to the person that's created it. But at the same time, others can appreciate them as well.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. What else do we have here? I think
Rick, hi, it's Dean here from the UK. Can I ask hi Rick, can I ask Skywalker a question? What was his intentions when he was collecting all his items? What was the purpose for him? What was his intention of use? You know, from his plasmatic soul. What was his intentions?
The intention is for me find another way to look of the creation, not so straight looking for the whole universe. I'm looking for all things in my environment. I cannot look in one way. I must look in 1,000 ways. Creation is so big and so many things is in the world. You open eyes, you burn, you see so beautiful things, and you don't see. You look at on this, and okay, forget it. And next time, you have an inspiration from this. And I look things in another way. I look in the background, right side, left side, and inside. You can many things do it, or you can do it more. You can more powerful thinking. I think so.
Thank you for that. That was a very precise, beautiful answer. So what you're saying is that from a fixed position, you need to expand yourself and think of other horizons and other things. And as you said, the universe is a very vast, complicated, beautiful thing. So you need to move fluidly from one point to another point. And you can freely move from one point to another point with your soul. And you seem to have grasped and gathered that information that you can actually, you can think of one position and be in that position in a thought, and you can physically be in another position. So you're using your abilities as a universal being, universal soul, within your intentions, which is extremely beautiful. So thank you for that. That was a great answer. Thank you.
Thank you very much too.
Gianni asks in the chat, magnificent. How do those who approach the created fields feel?
Field, I don't, little bit not understanding the answer. The answer is
how do people, if someone comes in the room and sees that, how do they feel? How do they say they feel about it? Or what do they, when they come close to that structure, what do they feel?
He come and say, "Oh, Jesus Christ, what is this?"
Okay, that's a good answer. That explains it, yes.
Yeah, it's crazy for people with no understanding, nothing. He say, I don't know what is this. I created, last summer I created time machine, a little bit time machine I have. So it's 40, 50 years. It's an old film time machine, and I created this one in small thing with many things. It looks so beautiful, and when you thinking is the time machine, you get your soul in there, and you thinking I'm back to the 20s. Okay, and it's amazing when you can so many things do it, and it's from small things you can bigger and bigger and bigger for you, and another person come look at this and thinking what he do with this one, for what? Yes, it's I think is you need a little bit kick inspiration, and you go forward with many things, who you live and what you have in your environment. You have so many things, you don't know it all around, and it's cool.
Skywalker, when I first started on my journey, I went through many phases of exactly what you've done, of creating objects, and at the time I didn't know what they were. It just felt right for me, and I created many environments of art objects and all sorts of things in the garden, in literally in nature, doing things like Rick does, which is more of a scientific sort of approach, a little bit like that for me. And it just felt right, and it's on an individual scale. And then when you start realizing that, when you start connecting with the plasma, when you start really connecting with this technology, it's universal knowledge that we all possess and we all have. We have it from the moment we come, and before we come, so because we're eternal beings. So it's just an expression of knowledge that we sort of give back. We give back with our thoughts and our intentions, and and certain people or creatures won't respond to it, don't understand it, because they're not on their path. They've not reached that level yet, but many are starting to. And I think the whole planet is starting to get to a position now where they're starting to understand the truth of their own being, and they're starting to move forward into as Rick would say, a new place, a new planet, a much more cohesive, much more better, beautiful place where we can all be together as one, and exist in a most beautiful, I can't describe it as much as I want to, but the most pleasurable home for all of us, so that we can be together and travel the universe and be universal beings, because that's what we really are. And that time, I think, is coming soon. The awareness of everybody is starting to resonate around the planet. I can feel it myself, and everybody I meet, everybody I see, I can see the glow in their eyes. I can see the glow in their face, and they're just starting to express themselves in beautiful ways. I see families that are just starting to be joyous again and coming together in a beautiful way and starting to bring in the extended family. And I can see this, and friends that are starting to resonate together again in a different way. So it's starting, I believe it's starting to come to a point where humanity is about to make a very big, beautiful shift, big jump, that has been written about and known about for eons. And I do believe we're very, very close to that now, if not already there. It's just a matter of a thought, and we're there. That's just my feelings. Anyway, thank you, but thanks, guys. Thanks for my ramblings.
Thank you.
Very good, Dean. Thank you. And I understand that you have aspirations to maybe be a co-host or host at some point.
Yes, Rick. Yeah, I mean, it's the same old thing with me. I'm always, yes, I think it's that belief within yourself of actually being able to do these things. Yes, I do feel that I could help and help the foundation in that way. So yeah, at some point I need to start resonating on that level and helping as many people as I can, because I feel that as you know, within my journey, when it first started, I couldn't speak on the microphone. For me, it was a very difficult thing. I can't explain it, but I know within the foundation that you've all elevated my soul to the point where now I can express myself and actually freely talk. And I know this is the same for many people on that microphone. They get to the point and think, no, I can't open the microphone. When you start to understand that you are the creator, and in reality, you're talking to yourself, the feedback changes and you start to realize you become fearless. And
that's
that makes
absolutely true. Really good point. Really big point there. That fearlessness comes in when you understand your true nature, and
you do, Rick,
you can't be hurt and you can't do any wrong in a way. You just carry on as the the one that has to do whatever it is to create the world the way it is. And it's an amazing position. It sounds almost egotistical, but at the same time, it's really a place of humility, not of ego, because you have to drop so much of your ego to get to that position. It's actually the ego that's holding us back from turning that microphone on. It's all the stuff that keeps you from being who you really are and able to express yourself the way, like Dean said, when he first started working with the group, and here especially, but in the other groups as well. It was very difficult. You don't have the words, you don't know what to say, and so on. And now Dean, his voice came through quite clear in the One Nation, One Planet, One Race on Tuesday. And, he expressed himself very clearly, very distinctly, and has a new, we can hear that new energy in your voice, Dean, that new clarity. So yeah, it's really quite amazing.
Thanks, Rick. Thank you. I must say you were big. You inspired me a lot, Rick, because I've listened to you for a very long time, and your dedication and what you've done. I'd like to thank you for that, because you've opened up new frontiers and new planetary systems for me, new universes, just with everybody that's contributed and spoken, and every single soul that's been involved. A very beautiful journey, and it opens up that plasma, the torus field, that coming and going, that never-ending infinity loop. It's once you let yourself go, that I think that's the big point. Once you start expressing yourself and really letting yourself go, showing your beauty, because every single soul here is exactly the same. They're all beautiful souls. They just let yourself go. And the guys and the girls, the people in the background who can't express themselves, just try it once. Just start very small very, very small. Just give it a go and then just see how it goes. It expands. And once you start giving, you start receiving back. And then it's like Mr. Keshe does. And someone said the other day that he works sort of 24/7. I mean, literally just sleeps an hour or two. And even then he doesn't really sleep because he doesn't really need to, but he does because there's no one else to play with. So by him continuously giving and giving and giving, he receives more back from the universe, and it gives him that universal energy to expand himself and give more and more and more. And that's what we all do. Once you start realizing that, everything changes in your whole ethos, your whole life. So I would advise anybody, if you're thinking about letting go, just do it. Just be brave enough, believe in yourself, because you are a beautiful soul, and we'd love to hear from you. Thank you all.
Good, thank you, Dean. Well, any other beautiful souls like to be heard from today? Well,
they're still too shy, Rick, but they will come forward.
They might be too tired now, too, after 3 hours of listening to us going on here. Well, perhaps we will.
Rick, can I ask, how's your spaceship going? Have you managed to take yours somewhere for a little spin?
I visit other places that he goes to during his rest time. I mean, after all, that's when he said that when the body's horizontal, that's when the soul is less entrapped by the cage and is able to escape while the physicality is busy snoozing, and goes out and plays. So this is something to consider, and something I try to work with. I don't have a good recollection of dreams, but I do try to just consciously make some sort of connection before I go to sleep, or before I rest. Let's say we shouldn't really go to sleep, because it's better to rest than to sleep, let's say. So the idea is that you can actually be conscious during these rest periods and take a little journey, go on a trip and don't leave the farm, kind of deal. And that's part of the what's called conscious soul travel by some, or conscious, what do you call it, lucid dreaming. And so that's an opportunity, I think, and it might be interesting for people to relate some experiences, if they experiment with that, on how to make that connection. How do we keep a conscious connection during these adventures, to have some sort of effect, or some sort of control over that environment. So there's a lot to be examined there, I think, and Mr. Keshe is giving some hints. Go ahead.
Sorry, Rick. I was going to say, I just made a comment on you when you said control over the environment. Do we need to control our environment? Is that something we need to consciously think of, or is that just by being in a certain way that your environment changes around you? The plasma just naturally becomes more fluent, more beautiful, you know?
Yeah, I think that's more it. Yeah. And so control the environment in terms of, for example, having a good place that we can rest in, so you're not disturbed, and you you know, have a comfortable place to rest and a bed or whatever, and or for Gianni, hay bale will do, some straw. As you mentioned.
Everybody works differently though, Rick. Some people can live, you know, and enjoy life freely like Gianni does. And others, I know that they feel they need to be in a slightly different environment. So that environment is different for everybody. And whatever it is that resonates with people, that they can all share. One thing going forward is when we all realize that if this technology is brought forward and really utilized, then it's going to be the same for everybody. You can have anything you want. So even the people that are, at the highest level in society, they believe that they are, in reality, the people that, you know, that what they would think is the lowest actually are not, and they could have exactly the same. And the people that have so much could have more. And the people at the bottom could have everything they ever wished for. When that starts resonating around the planet and we all really become one, everybody has exactly what they want. So I could never, in my conscious thoughts, I could never understand why certain individuals or certain corporations or whatever it is decide that they should have more than the others should not. Everything should be the same. And when we get to that level, this whole planet, we will become universal beings. We will be accepted, and it will be the most magnificent, beautiful thing. And I believe that time is now. Even though time is an illusion, unless it's on this planet, I believe it's now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Thanks,
good
Rick.
times. Good times on planet Earth.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a good name for a movie.
You can star in it, Rick.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else have any lingering comments here? Well, I can't think of anything else to say or talk about right now, so I think I'll wrap things up for today's Keshe Plasma Reactor Group for Wednesday, July 15th, 2020. I thank everyone for their contributions to today's show, and if you're thinking of contributing to the next show, please do so. And it's great when people can do a PDF or some other nice little presentation, but it's okay if it's a video or your live video or just something you want to talk about. But just consider opening up the microphone next time around, as Dean was saying, and opening up your life to the plasma technology. All right, everyone's welcome to check in at the Knowledge Seekers Workshop coming up on Thursday, 9 a.m. Central European Time at the same Zoom room location, and at the usual live stream and YouTube channels as well. And I'm sure Mr. Keshe will have yet more surprises for us. He never ceases to amaze us, it seems. And yeah, we look forward to that. All right, bye for now, everyone. Thank you, and see you next time around.